2004, since 2004, I have been working in different organizations. I started my work from private Indian company and then switched to international NGO. Then I worked with donor-funded projects at Ministry of Agriculture and Ministry of Rural Development. I also worked with GIZ, and currently I am working with in another international NGO. As I told at the beginning, this class is not about me. This is your class. So try to take this opportunity and fully utilize it for your benefit. Means you can get knowledge from this online lecture, and what I can suggest you or advise you as a brother, as a friend, please have a piece of paper in one pen and make notes for yourself. Even you can note some words, and later on, using technologies and this internet, you can find out about those words. You can note some phrases, you can note some definitions, you can see some definitions in Google, on my lectures, and try to make your simplest and short definition. So this is, I will not go in much details. Of course, if some point is not very clear, stop me. You can ask question, you can ask for further explanation. Even if you struggle with catching it in English, we are not native English speakers. I can speak Pashto in very fluently, and you can ask for explanation in one of those languages. I will be here to share the knowledge at my best. So let's jump to this subject. I will teach this introductory topic, introduction to business. So businesses, I'm sure it is not a new word for us, and everyone is familiar with this, and everyone heard somehow this word. It is very general and very broad word or topic. So just anyone can turn on their mic and tell me words, phrases, or sentences, or a brief definition about business. When you hear the word business, what comes to your mind? What do you mean, or what is your perception from the business? Not necessary that you read it from Google or books, just what is coming to your mind, just share it with us. So this is the best opportunity for you to improve your like presentation skills. Just share it here. Bismillah. Yeah, I see some. And yeah, go ahead.
So with the name of Almighty Allah. So in my opinion, so generally, business means a state of being busy. And if I give you a definition, a short definition about business, so I think that it's a human activity that's related to the production or goods or even services that satisfying wants and individually. It's a relationship between groups or individually that exchange goods and services.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Next. That's great. Great share. Yeah, Madina Latifi, you raised your hand.
In the name of Allah, hello to everyone. When I think about the business, the only thing which coming in my mind is profit. I think business is about everything that we do to gain profit. It is the simple definition.
Yep. Very, very clear and very up to point, very concise. Thank you. Mr. Tarakhil. Yeah, we can hear you, Mr. Tarakhil. Speak up. I think there is some problem with him. So, Sheila, Miss Sheila.
Hello everyone. I think business is the process of buying some goods in a cheaper price and sell them again in a higher price.
Good. Great, great, great. Yes. Agree. Very good. Okay. We will give a chance to you again during the discussion. So, very, very much clear, very much true. Yeah, of course, business, it was taken from business, like being involved in something. And of course, it is about profit. And as recently it was said that buying at cheap prices and selling at higher prices and earning some profit. Of course, these are the aspects in all other elements of business. So, next slide, please. Okay. During this lecture, these are the objectives or outcomes that are expected to be covered. First, after completion of this lecture, we shall be able to understand and can explain the concept of business. Anyone will ask from us. We should be able to clearly explain and define the concept of business. What is the business mean? And as it was said, it is earning profit, of course. We are doing business to earn profit. So in this lecture, we will talk about revenue. This is associated with profit, but it is not exactly the profit. So we shall understand the revenue. Expenses are also associated part of profit. Like when we buy something, we pay money, those becomes our expenses, and in return what we get, that becomes revenue. And once we subtract the expenses from the revenue, the remaining amount will be net profit if the amount is positive. And in the case the amount or the figure goes to the negative, then that will be loss. We will study those things in detail. Of course, we shall understand type of business, in what types or what forms we can start businesses. And then we should be able to understand and explain the 4 factors of production. This is some concept are related to the economics. We will touch a little bit about this. And then Mr. Tarakhil, if you can hear our voice, please turn off your mic. And the last point, when we are talking about business, of course, business other than individual, it should be an organization. When it becomes more than one person, even 2 people, is called organization. We will also study about that and the role of these people and the function area of business. What functions are necessary to carry out business? We will discuss all these one by one. So next slide. Okay, as I said at the beginning, the business word is covering a lot of areas. It is a very general discussion. Even many scholars of business management school, many writers of business management books, are of different opinions. However, the main idea match one another, but wording differs. Like this is one definition taken from this book. Any activity, like this is an activity that provides goods or services to whom? To consumer, to the people they consume, they use those services or goods for the purpose of making profit. Suppose Mr. A is doing an activity, they provide services, they fix some machine, they repair some machine, this is activity. And in return, they receive profit. Of course, the consumer will also be benefited, their machine will be fixed. And in terms of goods, of course, we go to the shops, in retail, in wholesale, we buy goods. Of course, we pay money. And the shopkeeper, the seller who sell those goods to us, they already bought those goods prior at the cheaper price, at lower price, and they added their profit margin to those prices, and they are selling those goods to us on higher prices. For the what purpose? For making profit. Why they make profit? At the first, when they purchase goods for resale purpose, this business is called retailing business. We will discuss it later. But for your information, when they buy those goods, they incur some expenses. For example, they pay transportation charges. Then they hire a shop, they pay rent to the shop owner. They use electricity and they pay electricity bills. So all those expenses should be covered by this selling prices. And the person by themselves, or maybe people in some shop, in some store, there might be some workers. So all those salaries and salary of this entrepreneur should be charged to this good, in it will be added to the prices in order to get profit and cover those expenses. This is one type of definition. Like in this definition, we can see the keywords activity. Activity for providing goods and service, two more keywords, and the last one is making profit. Next slide. The next version of definition. Okay, another definition, business is an organization that provides goods and services to the consumers to earn profit. Like this is more than activities. This is organization within which activities will be carried out. So this definition is much more broader and comprehensive than the previous one. Each definition can fit in its own place, but as compared to these two definitions, the second one is a little bit broader. When we hear the word organization, it means people are working somewhere, and of course they are doing some activities, whether providing or producing goods, or they are providing services in order to earn profit. Next slide. Miss Marwa. Okay. A business is the organized effort of individuals to produce and provide goods and services for the sake of meeting the needs of society. Like in this definition, words are previous to definitions. Of course, it is organized efforts, means efforts by people, by individuals within the organization. Every person has got its own specific role. Of course, there should be organized. They should be clear about the process, about the goal, and they all should work in coordination towards that goal achievement. Business is a broad concept. As I said, it is very broad concept, and incorporating for-profit concerns such as manufacturing firm and banks, and not-for-profit concerns such as schools, hospitals, and charities. Okay, in this slide, we have got explanation like about business, as a business does not only cover the organizations which are for profit. However, in the basic definition of business, if you go to any book, if you refer to many books or to the internet, you will see the word profit. However, scholars have disagreements about adding not-for-profit organization like universities. If we think about these private schools, private universities, NGOs, they receive money, they need money to run their businesses. However, they are working for the society welfare. So we as a students do not stuck to one definition. We go through all definition, and we would like to clarify whatever is unclear in our mind. So at the basic definition, we do not talk about non-for-profit, but this information was added for your information in based on the book I will share with you. Next slide, please. Okay, some key concepts that we talked about in these four definitions. Goods and services. Example of goods are like goods itself is a tangible item such as cars, television, or any other thing that we can see and we can touch, and those goods can change hands from seller to buyer. However, services are not tangible items. Like these are mostly knowledge, advices. It can be in form of words or maybe in the form of some action, like when someone fixes a car for us, so they do physical work and they provide services to us, and then they charge fee. When we go to haircut salon, the person just using their tools, they cut our hairs, and at the end we have to pay fee. They do not give us any physical item. So these can be services. And businesses can generate profit from the sale of goods or services. Of course, they are doing their activities, they are selling their products, their goods for the sake of profit. Next slide, please. Okay, as I earlier said, in every definition we find the word profit, but in order to clarify some concepts those are associated with profit, there are some words like revenue. Some of you might have heard, and some it is for the first time, but try to comprehend it, try to learn it here, try to understand it very clearly. If it is not clear, you can ask again. There are differences between revenue, income, and profit. Revenue is the total amount of money a business takes in during a given period by selling goods or services. For example, we go to the shop and we purchase some goods, some fruit. The money we pay to the shopkeeper, that is not their income, that is not their profit. That is called revenue, because that also includes the amount that shopkeeper paid before selling that item. Like shopkeeper purchased 1 kilogram of apple for 100 Fs. The 100 Fs the shopkeeper paid is cost for the shopkeeper. Shopkeeper brings those apples to their shop and they pay taxi fare 10 Afghani, that is also added to this expenses cost, like that 1 kilo 1 kg apple costs 110 Afghani for the shopkeeper, and when the shopkeeper sell those apples to us for 150, so this 150 as a whole is revenue, not profit. And what the shopkeeper will do, first he will subtract the 100 off the purchasing price for him, and then the 100 off as a taxi fare, and also some other overhead or additional charges like shop rent, or if they pay the electricity bill. Suppose 10 more Afghani, the shopkeeper calculates the other expenses. So among those 150, only 20 Afghani will be profit for that shopkeeper, not this whole 150. So this 150 amount is revenue, and after deducting all the expenses from this revenue, the remaining amount, if it is positive, this become profit. And in some cases, the shopkeeper purchase some item for prices like 100 Fs, and due to some reasons, he cannot sell that product higher than its purchase prices, and he has to sell it at lower prices. Then the shopkeeper faces losses. Suppose he purchased 1 kilogram apple for 100 Fs and he sold it for 80 Fs. So of course he occurred 20 Afghani losses. The screen is okay. Cost or expenses. These are two words that is used in business, and those who are familiar with accounting, then they can even make differences between cost and expenses. But for us as a business students, we do not differentiate here. We assume it as an equal meaning, like we can call it cost or expenses. It is the resources we sacrificed for or foregone to achieve a specific objective. The amount we paid to receive a specific or achieve a specific objectives, those sacrificed or foregone amount is assumed as an expense or cost. A cost or expense is usually measured as the monetary amount that must be paid to acquire goods or services. Normally, cost is measured by monetary value, like we express it in monetary amount. This much amount was cost of this. And the profit, I already talked about profit during the revenue definition. So I hope these 4, not 3, even loss. Loss is the opposite of profit. If the cost is higher than the revenue, in that case, there will be loss. Or if the cost is lower than revenue and revenue is higher than cost, then in that case, we will have profit. So these 4 concepts, I hope it is clear to you. Next slide. This is one example I put for your information. This statement is prepared in accounting. Accounting is also a portion of a business that deals with money that comes in the money it goes out. In this report is called income statement or statement of profit and loss. At the end of each accounting period, whether it is weekly or monthly, or in some cases at yearly or annual basis, we prepare a report. The first line is revenue. Revenue means how much money we received. In simple languages, in our local languages, the shopkeepers call it dakhal. The box that shopkeepers put money when they sell some goods or services and they receive money from the customers, they collect the money and put in a box, in dakhal. They put it in dakhal. At the end of the day, they open those boxes or dakhal and they count that money. That is called revenue. or in specific term in accounting we call it sales. And in between there are some expenditures that should be deducted from that revenue or from the dakhal amount. The first one is cost of goods sold, means the items we paid for, like we sold some stationery, but yesterday we purchased it from the wholesaler, so the amount we paid yesterday was cost of goods we sold it today. That first we deduct that, and then if it is we have some machinery, some equipments, then we deduct their depreciation amount, or in Dari or Pashto we call it istihlak. The usage of machinery is determined in form of depreciations. And then we have the interest expenses. If we pay some interest to someone, to the people we borrowed money from them, that is also expenses from for our businesses. So, and then if we pay taxes to the government, taxes also expenses, and we sum up all these expenses and deduct from the revenue or sale amount. At the bottom, we can see we got net income. This figure is shown in millions, like we had a sale of 2,311 million, and in between we subtracted expenses from that, and at the end we have got 363 million as a net profit. Next slide. Okay.
Sorry, teacher.
Allah's, yes.
Hello, our teacher and my classmate. I'm so sorry. Teacher, the slide in English, if you can lecture in Persian.
Okay.
Yes, it's useful.
Okay.
Alright.
Can you show me the previous slide, Miss Marwa? خب ما در بزنس امرای اصطلاحات خاصی مواجه میشیم، امرای اصطلاحات متنوعی مواجه میشیم. مثل که در اسلاید شما 4 لفظ میبینین: revenues, expense, profit و loss. خب این هر یکیش از لحاظ تکنیکی و از لحاظ مسلکی هر یکیش موارد استعمال و موارد تشریحی خود دارد. در بعضی موارد متاسفانه در زبان فارسی و در زبان پشتو ما الفاظ بسیار موزونی نداریم که عین مفهوم ارائه کنم. ما مجبور هستیم که از اون الفاظی که در دیکشنری است یا ما از بعض عبارت ها استفاده کنیم. مثلا ما به ریوینیو عواید ناخالص میگیم. عواید است مگر ناخالص است. ناخالص به این معنی که هنوز مصارف از پیشش منفی نشده. شما تصور کنین که اگر ما یک دکان قرطاسیه فروشی داریم و طبیعی است که دکان قرطاسیه فروشی را به هدف به دست آوردن عواید باز کردیم که ما برای فامیل یک نفقه یک چیزی به دست بیاریم. اول ما پول خود میگیریم، میریم از عمده فروش قرطاسیه را عمده میگیریم، او را میاریم در دکان و او را پس به فروش میرسانیم. و این یک امر طبیعی است که ما جنسی را که از عمده فروش خریدیم به اون نرخ پس نمیفروشیم. بر علاوه از او ما این جنس که از مرکز شهر به منطقه خود انتقال میدیم ما کرایه موتر هم میدیم. این هم تصور کنین که ما در دکان کرایه هم میدیم، در دکان برق هم مصرف میکنیم، در بعضی وقتا شاید امرای ما کارگر باشه معاش از واره هم میدیم، برای از اونا مصارف نان هم متقبل میشیم. این کل مصارف ما شما میسنجیم و بالای یک جنس محاسبه میکنیم. مثلا اگر فیکس به ارقام نتانیم میتونیم به فیصدی بالایش افزود کنیم. مثلا یک قلم بیک ما میخریم در عمده فروشی، تصور کنید 6 افغانی به ما تمام میشه. باز ما قطع خود ایتو محاسبه کردیم که ما امرای ازی مثلا یک 4 افغانی اضافه میسازیم که 4 افغانی با هر قلم اضافه میسازیم تا که مصارف ما برآورده شود، مصارفی که بر علاوه از او 6 افغانی که ما خریدیم 4 افغانی دیگه مصارف بالش میندازیم که کرای دکان و مصارف و همین که ما برای شیشتیم برای ما یک اندازه منفعت بمانه اینا رو کاتش اضافه میکنیم. وقتی که یک مشتری میآید و از ما جنس میخره و ما برش بل نوشته میکنیم، فرض کنین یک مشتری 5000 افغانی سودا میخرن، این 5000 افغانی برای ما شما ریوینیو میشه که ریوینیو رو ما شما در زبان خود میگیم که عواید ناخالص. انشالله تا اینجا واضح است. ریوینیو را عواید ناخالص میگیم. بعد از او مصارف براتون تشریح کردم که مصارف حتی سرخرید یا ما که پول به عمده فروش دادیم او هم جمع مصارف میشه که او را به انگلیسی کاست آف گودز سولد میگن در اکاونتینگ. کسایی که باز محاسبه میخوانن انشالله این چیزا رو باز امرایشان روبرو میشن و باز تفصیل میخوانن، چون حال ما صرف ما اکاونتینگ نیست، در او بخش نمیریم، خود سیر برای شما برای فهم شما اینجا آوردیم. در پالوی از او مصارفی که سرخرید ما یک جنس خریدیم، بر علاوه از او مصارف کرای موتر شد، کرای دکان شد و یک چیزی که ما برای خود در نظر گرفتیم کرای برق شد، مصارف برق شد و اگه ما مالیه میتیم کلش در جمع مصارف از او 5000 افغانی منفی کرده. در آخر کدام ارقامی که میمانه اونمو پرافیت است. و طوری که در انگلیسی تشریح انگلیسی گفتم در بزنس یا در تجارت ما و شما همیشه منفعت یا منافع به دست نمیاریم. در بعضی حالات نظر به کدام عوامل ما ضرر هم میکنیم که یک جنبه پرافیت روی بعدیش تاوان است، ضرر است. مثلا یک چیزی را ما با 100 افغانی میخریم و با روی کدام عوامل او را ما نمیتونیم فروخته و مجبور میشیم که او را به 80 افغانی بفروشیم. طبیعی است که در او ما 20 افغانی ضرر کردیم دیگه. یعنی 4 اصطلاحات ما براتون داری تشریح کردم که ریوینیو عواید ناخالص بود که وقتی که ما از مشتری ما کدام پول به دست میاریم، اگه او در مقابل کدام خدمات باشه یا کدام جنس سرش فروختیم، او طبیعی است که یک سلسله مصارف را در بر میگیره. او را ما عواید ناخالص میگیم و مصارفی را که ما شما محاسبه میکنیم او را اکسپنس میگن. و اگر فروش ما از مصارف بالاتر بود در او صورت ما نفع میکنیم، پرافیت به دست میآید. و اگر فروشات ما از مصارف پایین تر بود، مصارف بالاتر بود، طبیعی است که ما شما ضرر متقبل میشیم. انشالله که واضح شده باشه. Next slide please. Okay, a loss occurs when a business expense are more than its revenue. طوری که قبلا گفتم ضرر د وخت میشه، ضرر په هغه وخت کې کیږي چې کله زموږ استاسو یو شی چې خرڅو که هغه سرویسي خدمات په چا خرڅو یا جنس خرڅو او هغه د زموږ د مصارفو نه ټیټ وي موږ ضرر کوو، او که د مصارفو نه زموږ فروشات جګي هغې صورت کې موږ فایده کوو. Businesses that suffer extraordinary losses see their profit decline may end up closing or filing bankruptcy. خب متوجه باشین که هر بزنس که ما شروع میکنیم تضمین وجود نداره که بزنس 100% کامیاب میشه و پیش میره. روزانه صدها بزنس ها شروع میشه و صدها بزنس ها رشد میکنه و در پالویش صدها بزنس ها از بین میره. امی از بین رفتن بزنس در اصطلاح بزنس ما شما بانکرپسی میگیم. باز اگر وقت داشتین جنرال موتور بانکرپسی 2009 رو باز شما سرچ کنین، در فارسی هم میتونین که سرچ کنین، پختو که هم سرچ کولشه and you can also search it in English. For your kind information, please search these words in study with yourself in order to understand bankruptcy. Next slide, please. Okay. Since this is the first night class and honestly speaking, I was not prepared for it. I am somewhere else, and due to the problem that other teacher was not ready, I took this class. Tonight I do not teach new topics, and just we'll have a brief assessment that the terms and concept we have studied so far, and just I will ask 1, 2, or 3 questions, and anyone can answer it. Like this first question asks, how do you define profit? A, when costs exceed revenue. B, when revenue and cost are equal or equals. C, when revenue exceeds cost. And D, when the bottom line is in negative. سوال قسمی است که پرافیت ما شما چی را گفته میتونیم؟ پرافیت من څه ته ویلی شو؟ ای گزینه وای when cost exceeds revenue، کله چې مصارف د عوایدو نه ډیری، وقتی که گزینه ای میگه وقتی که مصارف ما از عواید ناخالص بیشتر باشه، ایره ما پرافیت میگیم. گزینه بی میگه when revenue and cost equals، وقتی که مصارف و عواید ناخالص مساوی شوه، ایره ما پرافیت میگیم. یعنی کله چې زمونږ فروشات او مصارف سره مساوي شي، دې ته موږ پرافیت وایو. when revenue exceeds cost، کله چې زمونږ ناخالص عواید د مصارفو نه ډیری، وقتی که عواید ناخالص ما از مصارف ما بیشتر باشه، ایره پرافیت میگیم. و گزینه دی میگه when the bottom line is in negative. امو اینکم استیتمنت هم برای شما شریک کردم، اگر در او امو رقم یا ارقام منفی باشه، او را ما پرافیت میگیم. کی جواب میده که کدام گزینه درست است و چرا درست است؟ مهربانی احمد زیسب، احمدالله ترخیلو بخیر.
Sir, the third one is correct answer. C.
Read it and tell us why.
Sir, because revenue exceed the cost. Cost is something that occur during the process of a business, like
Business,
you
yes.
told us.
Great. Right. And revenue?
Expenses, yes.
And
every
revenue is
business
the
work
amount
for
we
the
receive
profit.
from customer. Okay,
Yes,
good.
and-
Good. Great. Great. Thank you, Tarakhil sir. Next slide. Okay, in question 2, how do you define loss? A, when costs fall lower than prediction or projection. B, when the bottom line is in positive. C, when revenue exceeds cost. And D, when costs exceed revenue. Other than Tarakhil, please answer someone else. Take the chance. Tell us which option is, yeah. Okay, Marwa Behbaha.
So, sir, I think that letter D is correct.
Why? What
So,
letter D tell us?
So when costs exceed revenue, so
Mhm.
when we consume our
Resources more
resources
than
more than
that we receive back.
yeah,
Right,
more than
good,
profit or
good.
revenue.
Good, very good. Like, try to explain these concepts in your own words. You used very great concepts, like when we utilize the resources and we receive the resources less than that we utilized. Very good, very good. Everyone try to comprehend these concepts in your own words. Try to understand it up to your level, not to the book level or to the teacher level. Try to comprehend it, try to learn it up to your level. Make it as simple as piece of cake. هر قدر که شما ساده تر یاد بگیرین، اما قدر از پیشش خوب استفاده کرده میتونین. زما درته دا مشوره ده چې درس ته کوئ، د کتاب په لیول مزده کوئ، د ټیچر په لیول مزده کوئ، خپل الفاظو کې زده کوئ، یو خپله ژبه ورکوئ، ورته جرأت وکئ، استفاده یې کوئ. Next slide. Okay, I think this will be the last question. How do you define revenue? The A answer says when a business pays out money. Pays out means giving money to others, pay it for something. B, when a business produces or make goods in bulk, like bulk mean in majority, in numbers, a lot. C, when a business receives money from selling goods or services. And D, when a business pays taxes. So next, other than Tarakhil and Behbaha. Yeah, anyone among Bayat, Ms. Bayat or Haidari can unmute and share their thoughts with us.
Share my opinion, sir.
Yeah. Which option is correct?
As I think C is correct. When a business receives money from selling and service.
Services. Can you explain it in your words? Like, what do you understand by revenue? Even you can speak in your native language, no problem. Not necessary in English.
Okay. به نظر شخصی من امی گزینه درست است به خاطر از اینکه امی بیزنس که هست یعنی فروخته خودش هم فروختن یک متریال یا مواد است که به قیمت بالاتر خرید کردیم.
با در مقابلش چی به دست میاریم؟
منفعت یا فایدهش باید به دست بیاریم.
یعنی امو منفعتی ما باز خالص است یا ناخالص است؟ وقتی که ما به یک کسی خدمات میفروشیم یا جنس میفروشیم و از او پول میگیریم، این ریونیو است یا پروفیت است؟
نه، I think it's revenue.
Good, great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you learned few things tonight, as it was introductory class, and most of you were very much fresh and new to the business. The business is the ground for your further studies. Please try to attend all the classes. Please do your homeworks. Like, I will share these slides with you, and try to search keywords and find out some simple definitions based on your understanding. Do not memorize definitions. Try to comprehend it. Comprehension means understand it. Do not memorize it. Whenever you define some things, define it in such a way that you understand and you can make understand the people who listen to you. So I think it is enough for tonight, and I will try my best to prepare the lectures based on the your involvement, your aims, your goals about your careers, your education, and see you next week. Thank you so much and have a nice time.